Eustace Mullins, Curse of Canaan.
Preface. After 40 years of patient study of the crises which faces humanity, I arrived at a very simple conclusion: all conspiracies are satanic. In retrospect, this conclusion should surprise no one. I admit that it came as something of a surprise to me. I had never anticipated that my decades of work would lead to such an all-encompassing and unchallengeable solution. This answer had eluded me through the years, not because I was on the wrong track, but because I had not yet consulted the ultimate source of knowledge, the Bible. To trace the machinations of the materialist conspiracy, I had deliberately limited myself to materialist sources, reference material on banking, politics, economics, and the biographies of those who were most deeply involved in these affairs. When at last I did decide to look up some references in the Bible, a task which was greatly simplified by a number of excellent concordances, such as Nelson's and Strong's, I was overwhelmed by its immediacy, by its directness, and by the applicability of its words to present-day happenings. As the months went by and I continued this research, I was not overwhelmed by a sense of déjà vu, but by an overpowering conviction that very little had changed in the last 3,000 years. My first revelation was that God has no secrets from man. It is Satan who must confine his work to stealthy conspiracies, to deception, and to promises which will never be kept. And the great dragon was thrown down, that ancient serpent, who is called the devil and Satan, the deceiver of the whole world. Rev. 12:9. It is for this reason that politicians, of necessity, must become followers of Satan in the rebellion against God. Politicians must deceive the people in order to gain power over them, just as Satan must deceive the whole world if he is to continue his rebellion against God. Satan takes you to the top of the mountain and offers you all the kingdoms of the earth. Martin Luther King proclaimed, "I have been to the top of the mountain," but he never revealed what had taken place there. The politician offers you free food, free lodging, free medical care. Everything will become free at last. The politician offers to defend you against your enemies, so that he can deliver you to the ultimate enemy, Satan. God does not make offers to you in competition with Satan and his politicians. What could God offer you when he has already given you the whole world? What more could he do than to send his only begotten Son to preserve this world for you when it was threatened by Satan? And why would God wish to veil his love for you behind arcane mysteries, occult conspiracies, and obscene practices? Once my return to the Bible had given me the answers for which I had been seeking so many years, I realized that I had arrived at the culmination of this life's work. I had eagerly sought out the facts about each of the many conspiracies, and I now was able to define their interlocking into the one world conspiracy of conspiracies. I had traced the names and activities of the principal actors in the satanic drama which this world has become, a world which I described in 1968 in My Life in Christ as Satan's Empire. This was an oversimplification, although I was not aware of it at that time. I had written this book under great stress. My father had died as the result of harassment by federal agents. Their goal was to force me to give up this work. Other members of my family continued to undergo daily harassment because of the federal campaign against me. I had not been overcome by despair, but it did seem to me, in that period of my life, that Satan had indeed achieved a temporal victory over this world, not a permanent victory, but a gain which he could defend and which he might consolidate for years to come. The next 40 years brought me many startling revelations of the behind-the-scenes forces which had planned and perpetrated the mass murders of humanity. I had finally, as one writer put it, uncovered the forces of war. I was also able to find the sources of the satanic ideology which has been consistently employed to deceive humanity, and to trick them into becoming unwitting tools of the satanic programs, an ideology which we encounter today in various forms, such as communism, Fabianism, secular humanism, and other disguises. February 22, 1987. Contents: 1. The War Against Shem. 2. The Transgression of Cain. 3. Secular Humanism. 4. England. 5. The French Revolution. 6. The American Revolution. 7. The Civil War. 8. The State of Virginia. 9. The World Wars. 10. The Menace of Communism. 11. The Promise. Chapter 1. The War Against Shem. They sacrificed unto demons.